Hello everyone, this is Jarek Defiler, and we're back with A Patient Gamer Plays Divinity Original Sin 2. First video was quite a long one. These will probably be long. I'll probably do like an hour, 45 minutes to an hour each, because Divinity Original Sin 2 is just a huge game. Last video we just went over the menus and the character abilities and attributes and whatnot, just talked about Divinity a little bit. Might be boring for some people, but if you're a gamer, hardcore gamer, even a casual gamer, hopefully you got something interesting out of it for those who haven't played the game yet. And if you're a patient gamer like me, that's who this video is catered for, or catered to rather. So hopefully you got some information that might get you interested in the game, because it is a great game. I think everyone that is into RPGs should buy it at full price. I wouldn't even wait for it on sale. Got to support the studios because it's just that good. Alright, so we haven't even actually played or started playing the game yet in the series, so we're going to do that now, beginning with character creation. So as I spoke about or talked about last time, we have origin heroes, or characters. These are the characters that have storylines directly interwoven within the game. I don't think I will play any of these, just mainly to kind of avoid spoilers, but also it's just more fun if you do it yourself. And maybe one day I'll go back and do like each character or do like a party with most of them and do some runs like that. But for starters, we're just gonna explore the game, and I want to show you guys how things work and the mechanics, and we'll probably go over the story kind of slow too, maybe. I'm thinking just take it easy, nice casual run. I'm doing explorer mode, so it's a bit easier. I'm thinking I want to do an elf and undead. Maybe an undead elf. So we'll just maybe do a custom character. That way I can get Corpse Eater. And I can get extra lore and stuff off of that. Now, what do we want to do as far as an actual build? I don't feel like doing any cheese builds or anything. I want to do something fun. But what? Like, what is there? There's so many options. That's what's awesome about this game. Just remember, again, these starter build presets, this just is what you get at the beginning. Like, after a couple levels, this could be completely useless, because you can go in a completely different direction and start building a completely different character. That's the beauty of Divinity Original Sin. The devs are geniuses when it comes to giving players options. You are very much in control of what happens in this game. The beauty is that you don't know most of the time what's going to happen, because a lot of things that you might do might have consequences that you just don't know unless you read the entirety of the wiki, which unfortunately isn't that great. The Divinity Original Sin 2 wiki is not that good. The fandom wiki anyways. I don't know if there's other ones that are better out there. But the ones that I've seen aren't too great. They give you some assistance, but not much in the more complex stuff. So that's unfortunate, but it's okay, because exploring and just finding things out on your own in the game is what makes it more fun. So what kind of character do we want to play? I've played so many different types. I'm not really too big a fan of casting that much. I was maybe thinking of doing Conjurer, because I haven't really done a straight up summoner build. The thing is that's just a really kind of overpowered build. I've done it before on an off character that I had in my party, but not on like a main character. So I don't know if I really want to go that route, but I kind of do at the same time. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Like Witch sounds kind of fun. That's what I did with Sybil though, but it was so much fun I kind of want to do it again. But I don't think so. Like Wayfarer, I actually haven't gone straight up Ranger before, just all out like Huntsman class. I don't think I've done that yet. But again, it's like, I don't know if that's something I'd be interested in. Maybe Huntsman Necromancer. Polymorph I'm doing with a run with my brother, so I don't know if I want to do Polymorph right now, because I'm already kind of doing it. Knight, no. Inquisitor, me. You know what? let's just go Summoner. See how that works. Just because I haven't really done it full on before. I wonder what's a good secondary to do with Summoner. Maybe probably Summoner. And the cool thing about Summoner is the totems you get, what you cast on the totems. Like if you cast them in a pool of blood or fire or whatnot, they take the attributes of that totem. So you can cast them in a fire pool, like a line of fire, and they'll become fire totems, and then they'll be immune to fire. But they'll also be, I think they'll be weaker to like stuff that like negates fire, like water or something like that, I think. Again, I haven't really played too much of the Summoner, but I think we'll do that just for the fun of it, because it's easy and it's just something that I haven't really tried before. So, what do we want for appearance? I think we'll go with algae or charred. Let's do charred. That looks kind of cool. And let's give him, I do undead a lot because I just like being immune to poison. And I do elf quite a bit too because I just like to be able to eat stuff. Which one do we want to have for the face? We want to have the little leaves on the face. That one's kind of cute. I'm not going to see the face most of the time anyways, because as an undead you have to kind of keep covered and stuff. Otherwise people might attack you because, you know, you're undead. Let's go it that way. Hairstyle. I kind of just like the long hair, to be perfectly honest. Number one, I kind of like that one. Very elfin. These are a bit like kind of Japanese samurai style, I guess. Kind of like Viking style. Yeah, I'll just stick with that one. Hair color. Just white, I guess. Or blue. That's kind of cool, like a light blue. Whatever. Facial features, can't really do anything. What do we want to do for voice?
Glory is mine! You're not trying to escape, are you?
Try again.
Meet your maker.
Meet your maker. Better luck next time.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'll greet the
Scholar's my
Reaper for
favorite, I
me.
think, but I do that one a lot.
I'll yeet.
Better luck next time.
I think we'll do Trickster. Excuse me. Allergy season. Woo! Which is every season for me. Okay, so we can actually edit the skills here. Farsight Infusion. Unlock range attack for your Incarnate. The Incarnate is pretty dope. I remember that. Yeah. I think maybe I'll get rid of Dimensional Bolt. Let's just do straight up summoning for the start. Very effective. You know, if I'm doing this, maybe I should just do a regular classic run instead of doing the Explorer run, because it might be too easy. Yeah, well, whatever. This is just for the YouTube, so because it doesn't really matter. What do we want to do here? Constitution. I don't think I really need that for the start. I'd rather go memory. I mean, you don't really need intelligence for the summoner either, I don't think, because I don't think that affects any of the summoner abilities, but we are going to do secondary skills, most likely. Maybe just buffing skills, so I could just buff my summon guys and just make them crazy. I'm kind of tempted just to get that right off the bat. It's kind of a waste at the start, but I always end up coming into this problem where I run out of memory slots. Well, we'll see. We might change that later before we confirm. Lore Master, I don't really care about that. I can always just go to a merchant. What I would like is Persuasion. And I might do Thievery as well, because Thievery is just good. Maybe Lucky Charm. I don't know. Thievery and Persuasion are two that are very useful. Thievery, you could use a lot. But this is another great thing about this game, is that there's never really anything that hinders you. Like, there's not really a obstacle that you can't overcome by other means. So if you don't have any Thievery points per se, so you come up against a chest or a door that you can't get into. Generally, they always have hit points. Like the chest will have hit points and the door will have hit points, so you can just quite frankly just attack it until it breaks. It takes a long time depending on the chest or the door, but you can usually do it. And if you're using a weapon to do it, it might break your weapon. If you're using a wand, it won't do it, or ranged attacks, it won't do it. But if you're using melee weapon, then it'll damage the weapon, you have to repair it. But it's cool that you can do that. You can just straight up break the chest because you can't get into it. Now, there are a few chests that are like indestructible and some doors that are indestructible that the only way you can get in is like thievery, or if you have the key, or if it's like a magic door that you have to solve the riddle or something. But, excuse me. I always think thievery is just good to have. And as undead, you don't even have to have lockpicks because you can just use your fingers. Leadership. This is good to have because you will be having a lot of summons. But at the start, do I really want to have that at the start? Or do I want to go single-handed and do kind of like a hardcore wand build with summoning? I kind of want to do that. But, we'll see. Like, leadership might be the best for now. I can't remember if you benefit as leadership as well, or if it's just your allies. To all allies. I'm not sure about that. I forget. Okay. Talents. Pet pal. I thought I had that by default. We're definitely going lone wolf. I think that comes with the gift bag thing. I think I get pet pal by default, so we'll change that. What other things would be working good with a summoner? Maybe I'll do grenades and stuff too. Just do like a bunch of fire grenades and make a bunch of fire summons and just bomb the crap out of everything. That'd be kind of cool. I can't remember if you attack a fire summon with fire, if it heals them or not. I don't know. I think it does, but I'm not 100% sure. Again, I haven't played Summoner in a while. Oh man, I love this game. Just look at all these abilities. So good. Okay, who do I want to be? I'm thinking Scholar is generally beneficial. Maybe Noble. Actually, Mystic might be cool. I don't do Mystic too often. Jester, I'm kind of disappointed in. I played it like a few times, or once or twice, and it didn't really give too much of a benefit. Outside of like sometimes joking with little kids and they might give you a key or something, but Scholar is very useful to have. Soldier's pretty good. Noble's very good. I mean, they're all good, but Jester, I think, is probably the weakest out of all of them. And I want to go with the Bansuri. I usually always pick the cello, but I'm going to go Bansuri. Okay, so right here, this is another slot where you can invite some baddie if you want, but we're going lone wolf, so it's just going to be me. Warning, beware, playing as an undead poses unique risks and benefits. Undead must veil their true selves from the living or risk being attacked. Healing potions and spells will damage you while poison heals. Undead can pick locks with a bony finger alone and can survive the scourge of Deathfog. That's why I like to do undead. Are you sure you're done with character creation? Yeah, we're done. Alright, let this play. Really awesome art style. Gorgeous soundtrack, absolutely gorgeous soundtrack. I play it on my phone.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rabble panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared. And sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
Man, it's a really good art style. I love it. even though it's all 2D and stuff. I really like that. It's just simple 2D, but you know, they make it animated and stuff. Just really good. All right, lots of voice acting, so I'll shut up most of the time. Let you guys get engaged in the story if you're interested.
Still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry. The sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now. No need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
Alright, as you can see, you can zoom in pretty far.
Well, look what the doc dug up. You're lucky they didn't notice just how thin you were under those bandages. Although, seeing someone wrapped up like that, they probably thought you had the scabbing plague. Heh? Look, laugh, but don't touch. Better keep that hood down, mind you. The living don't take kindly to seeing their future staring back at them.
Such good writing, such good voice acting. Absolutely love it. Now you'll notice that there is a bit of clipping. You know, you can see like the collar coming through the hood. That happens, but, you know, not too big of a deal if you're not a stickler for that kind of thing. I'm very much a gameplay mechanics and quality of story. I mean, story's not that important to me, but more gameplay mechanics over graphics and whatnot. That's why I am such a big Diablo 2 fan, even to this day. But you can control the camera with WASD. Very simple. You know, E and Q will rotate. The W, S, D, A, just turn it. So it's very computer friendly, very PC keyboard and mouse friendly. The grinning skull.
Playing dead, are you? Probably a good idea.
Awesome voice acting, like always. Alright, so if you press Alt, you will see everything that you can pick up in the vicinity, but not generally everything you can interact with. So if you go over here, there is a desk, and if you hold Alt, you're not going to see it pop up, but there's other stuff you can get here. Check it out. What can you do over here? This is the tutorial section. I will pick up these buckets because I think we can use them later. Unless I have the gift bag thing. So here is the gift bag options that I showed in my previous video. Pet power enhances the summoning class and its infusion spells immensely. With this mod, you can cast infusion spells on all available summons, not just your own incarnate. Each summon receives different skills depending on the base elemental infusion type. Note that this persistent modification cannot be turned off once activated. I don't know if I want to do that right now. 9 lives, transform the black pattern into a follower. Once rescued, a whistle will appear in your inventory. You can use this to check its lost, or if it wants to change who it follows. 8 action points. Increase the base maximum action points of hero characters to 8. Herb Gardens is a good way of getting money. I mean, I guess I could activate these. They're not really game breakers, but I wanted to show kind of the, just the basics, the basic game as it is. But these do add some pretty neat stuff and make the game just like more quality of life changes. But there are some things that are pretty, you know, great. Like pet power. I kind of wanted to check this out because it enhances, like it says, a summoning class. But do I want to do that for the first video? Yes, I do. Screw it. I'm just going to enable everything because this is what the game is now. I'm not sure if this comes with just the definitive edition, which is what I'm using. So if it does, then everybody will have access to this. I don't think these are any special mods or anything. I think they just come with the base game of the definitive edition, but I could be wrong. So, animal empathy allows players to talk to animals without having to spend a talent point. Also changes pet pal talent to grant maximum positive attitude in all conversations with animals. So that is kind of what I wanted because I don't really like having to get pet pal talent just to talk to animals. So I'm just going to use all this. Yes, warning screen, modification selected. I got it. Achievements disabled. That's fine. I don't really care about achievements. So we are going to go with the modded version. That's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Don't hate me. As we see the loading screen, we got all the characters that we aren't going to be playing because they're story characters. Maybe if I do it in another run, I'll probably start playing them because I've never actually played the dwarf guy in any run I've done. I played low C with the first run I've ever done playing with my wife was with low C, but we didn't get that far because she kind of got into Stardew Valley. So we transitioned, my wife and I transitioned into Stardew Valley, so we kind of stopped playing Divinity. But maybe one day I'll go back and play her low C with the dwarf guy. I forget his name. That's how little I know about him, because I'm just not a big fan of dwarves in video games and like fantasy worlds and stuff. I've always liked I don't know what I like elfin characters, orc characters, like demons and things like that, but dwarves never really tickled my fancy. Okay, if you have enough strength, you can hold and click, left click and move stuff. You also can right click and it shows different options, so if you want to pick up the entire crate you can, or you can just left click and select what's inside of it. There is a lot of loot in this game, so for those, loot hounds that want to just go and collect everything, this is definitely the game for you. So now that we have
freight or food?
Now that we have the ability to talk to animals, we can talk to the goat, or the sheep rather.
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void. With one sharp hoof, she kicks you right in the shin.
What a jerk.
Banded like a chicken's leg, but not much meat on your bones.
Poke the sheep's ample belly with your toe. Remark that she's got more meat on her than you do. Sniff and tell the sheep you don't appreciate being likened to a farm animal. 3. You don't intend to take sass like this from a sheep. Take your leave instead. I like to go the more diplomatic route most of the time. I mean, depends. When I played Sybil, I did the evil kind of mean routes the entire playthrough, and everybody ended up hating me, but it was fun. And you get some really unique choices and stuff as a result. But this one, I think I'll be like a more persuasive kind of guy, so let's poke the sheep.
That may be so, but look at the flies. Ban wisdom. Flies know when a creature will die. And it's around your head they're buzzing, not mine.
With 2 shakes of her stumpy tail, the sheep turns away from you to peruse her hay-filled manger.
What did I do to you?
Get your dirty little paws out of my hay.
What a sweetheart.
Did you expect a needle?
Yes, I did, as a matter of fact. Alright, now, I know all these, you see these bags right here, these are just categorical bags that you can organize everything in. They're kind of annoying in some aspects, because if you put stuff in them, then when you go to a merchant, you can't get access to them, so you have to take everything you want to sell out in order to do it, at least as far as I remember. Or not remember, but as far as I know, I haven't found a way around that. So they can be a pain, but if it's stuff that you want to keep, then it's useful, just to have it all in different places. And it has an auto sort, which will put everything in there. All right, so let's just take a look at these menus. For example, up here, let's see. You have the ability to filter everything that you see in your inventory, which is always good. I just keep it on all most of the time. Nothing too fancy there. Over here we have our character screen. Shows you resistances down here: fire, water, earth, air, and poison. When you're at 200%, because we're undead, anytime you go over 100%, or I think it's once you hit 100%, you will be healed by that element. So, excuse me, if you have 100% fire, then I think you will just start to be healed by fire. If I recall correctly. Yes, that should be true. Next level experience, nothing too fancy there. Our initiative, this is where your placement in attack during the turn-based combat. I'll probably put a lot into that, actually, because I don't really need any defenses, I don't think, too much, because I'm just going to be summoning. Accuracy, 100%, which is, I don't know why. Oh, from difficulty 7, that's why. Usually it's like 95, but yeah, from difficulty setting. So this might be too easy. I believe we can change the difficulty. Yeah, we can change it. I think you can go up, but you can't go down, I think, but, or maybe you can. Can you? Oh, I guess you can. So should I just stick with classic mode? You know what? I think, yeah, we'll just stick with classic mode. And if it gets too annoying where I have to start save scumming or something, then I think we'll switch to explorer mode. So we'll just stick with classic mode for now. Bucket. I know there's a way to, you have to get clay or something like that, or you mix, oh yeah, you mix the bucket with a plant and then you can get like an infinite amount of that plant. You just keep on like planting them in the buckets and stuff, and that's a good way to get a lot of money. Kind of cheesy, you know, but it is an option in the game with these mods, that herb garden mod. Alright, cargo door key. This is very much a game that you want to inspect everything. Anything that's clickable, click on it, take it. A lot of food will hurt undead. Let's see if I consume it. Yeah, this one doesn't hurt me. But a lot of food will, because if it's anything that heals you, like a regular potion or something, or like I see that this heals 10%, so if I consume this, and I take damage, because the only way undead can heal is through poison. So if you get try to get healed by regular spells, then you're gonna, yeah, it's gonna damage you. And sometimes the enemy will just know that, and they will like heal you on purpose. We can read stuff without having to pick it up. Orders from guard steward. Important. It's come to my attention again that several of you are bypassing the cargo hold security measures by sliding boxes under the pressuring plates. This will not do. The purpose of these measures is to require the presence of at least 3 magisters at a change of shift. Any deviation will result in at least 1 magister getting thrown overboard. Make sure it isn't you, Magister C1. Yep. So, you know, you always want to go and inspect things, look around, read books and notes and stuff, because they will tell you how to progress in the game if you get lost, which happens. So we know that in order to open the door, we have to use that. And sometimes when you get pressure plates later on in the game, they might require heavier items, so that does count. These are just easy pressure plates, but there's some pressure plates where like either you have to stand on them or you have to put like a really heavy item on it. Alright, this is a good example of environmental effects. This is a spilled oil, and if you walk through it, it slows you, and if you hit it with fire, then boom. So you gotta be careful, because it will cause some havoc. These people are really bad with their like environmental disasters. OSHA would have a fit here. We got water right there. You can electrify water or freeze it. You can also use like rain and stuff to put out fires and things like that. Let's go back to the character sheet that we didn't finish yet. Now that I went to classical mode, now I'm at 95% accuracy, and nothing else really changes that much. I forget what we did. We did leadership, summoning. Okay, so now that we're a lone wolf, when you put 1 point in, you get 2. That's why I have 2 points in each, because of lone wolf. Persuasion. All right, so we got 1 in that. Yeah, I'm gonna do persuasion thievery, and persuasion is really helpful if you want to do a really story-driven game, which I like to do. And we got corpse eater, lone wolf, and undead. I don't know what I'll be doing next. Maybe pet pal. Attitude of all animals increased. I don't know if that's really necessary. We'll see. And then you got the basic tags, which is it. Once you select those, you don't really need to know what they do. We can go talk to this guy, or we can talk to the guard.
Hey! Get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. You in?
Why is he in the cage in the first place? Demand to know what exactly is in it for you. What should we do? Let's demand to know what's exactly in it for us.
Set me free, and I'll set you free. A fair trade, I should think.
Yeah.
Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. After that, pure pandemonium. They never even told me what I was accused of. Just dragged me down here. A gentleman among jesters, you are. Give that lever a pull, and I guarantee we'll both get something out of the deal.
I never actually let him out, I think, before waking up the guard. So I'm going to do that, see what happens.
Before you can even touch the lever, you hear a sniff and snort behind you as the snoring Magister mumbles himself awake. One bloodshot eye opens, and then another.
Is my shift over? You here to relieve me? Oh, wait, you're no Magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy elf? Choose your words carefully. My fists ache to meet a new face.
Now I can. There's these options are like the persuasion options, kind of the diplomatic options. So I have 14 memory, 12 intelligence. Everything else is 10. So that's probably not going to like work here too well. But because I have 1 point in persuasion, like that's one thing. I don't know if the wits, constitution, and finesse matters so much as just the persuasion points. I could be wrong, but usually I think it's just how many points in persuasion you have, and then you can just, these might give you different dialogue options, and that might affect something later on down the road, or it might not. I don't know. But I'm going to ignore the guard, and make a move towards the nearby lever.
One more step, and it will be your last.
I've never done it this route before.
A collared sauce freak thinks he can clobber a red? Damn fool. What in Lucian's name? I should have known there'd be trouble.
Alright, so now that guy sees he's green, he's my ally, and he's red, so he is definitely not my ally. So, how do I want to do this? I'm thinking I want to do fire, but maybe not. Maybe I will just do oil guy. Oil totem. And then I can give him a ranged attack and increased armor. If I move, I believe the guard will hit me. Nope, he doesn't have opportunist. So I can move up here. Or just hang out here. I'm gonna move over here. And smacky smacky. Now you do get control of the summon, so you'll notice I can hit that and they're both immune.
So much for a peaceful stroll.
Yeah, I know. Now if we press K, this is going to bring up the memory, or skills and memory slots. As you can see, it's because I put points into memory. I now have 4 additional slots because we're going to need those later, so I didn't really need to do that. It probably would have been better if I put it in Constitution or something, but quite frankly, I just forget, and then I end up having like no memory slots available. So I want to clean up this hot bar here. So let's unlock this, get rid of all this stuff. Put that at the end. This is a source ability. We're not going to be needing that until like way later. I don't really use it anyways. Fool your enemies if you think you're dead. Any action you take cancels this stat. I don't really use that at all, but the stuff that I don't use too often, I will just put in like the second bar. So, in fact, we don't even need to really keep this because this is a part of the mod Fleetfoot. So once you cast it, it's like on you permanently, so you don't really need to keep it around. So I would put it on my number 5 or number 2. Let's put it on number 2. And put you over there. I guess I'll just put that over there too. It's just stuff that I don't really use. And on number 2, I also like to do like any of the grenades and stuff I have, or potions. I'll put that over here. Potion at the end. Resurrect scroll we're not going to use because we're doing lone wolf. So if we die, we're just going to be screwed. Go ahead and put that up there. So let's figure this out here. I don't really care for that to be all in the front. I like to have my attack abilities in the front. So I'm going to have these guys all the way back here. I'll lock them. taskbar. Hey, where did that guy go? He bailed on me. Now let's check out what the magistrate has. A key, laboratory key. And what do we have in here? Bucket helmet. You can wear this. Gives you -1 initiatives. I don't think I will. 2 to physical armor. Got electrical scroll. Always look around for more stuff. Keep the buckets because we can do the gardens with it and then make some money. That's kind of cheesing, so I probably won't do it too much, but you know, I do want to show how to do that. The lock pits don't really need that. Alright, now you'll see in these rooms there's tons of stuff to pick up. You can even lay down in the bed. Whee!
Empty.
Empty. Minor healing potion, which we don't want to use. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. And we'll put you over here. You can use your bed to sleep. Now I got potion, or poison rather, and potions. Empty potions for the crafting you can do. There is a pretty large crafting system in the game. It's not anything super complex. There's just a lot of recipes. And there's a lot of little things like this that you'll have that you're tempted to get up because it could be used for something, and it can. I believe, I forget what the log can be used for. It might be like building a weapon or something, but I'm not going to really be doing any of that stuff. I'm not big on crafting in games, so I tend to not do it too often. Okay, this is a good time to try to pick the lock if we can. Oh no, this lock can't be picked. So we'll have to find a way over there. I believe there's a lever somewhere for this. Or we could blow the door open with that poison barrel, but I want to kind of keep the poison barrel. So there is a way to get over that. I forget how it is, or where it is. Lever's in there, right there. But let's just go around here. Now, if you click there, very smart AI, he's gonna go running the whole way around. You don't really have to do much. Game plays itself. So just make our way right over there. I think I either have the key or I should be able to pick the lock. But as you can see, if you can't pick the lock, you can break it. This door has 279 hit points. That's a lot. Thievery level too low, so we're gonna have to break the door. But if we're gonna do that, we're gonna go around back to this side. I know, I know. So we're gonna, I think we can summon the guy and have him attack it. Let's see. You can come up here and select him. Attack. Oh, he does poison damage, so he's not. He doesn't actually affect the door. What are the odds? Alright, so in that case, I'll just wait for the turn, and then I'll just do a regular guy. The only problem with that is that if he walks in the poison, he'll get damage. But I just want to show how the mechanics work and whatnot. But once you get these guys to level 10, man, they get pretty gnarly, from what I remember. It's been a while. Alright, so select him. And attack that. There we go. And he takes a little bit of poison damage, nothing too serious. I will walk in here. And deck of cards. I can't remember if those are used for anything. I'm gonna avoid doing a heavy loot run where I just pick up everything. I am definitely one of those people, but I don't want to bore you guys watching. So
and I'm back where I started.
And just stick with
nowhere to go but up.
So here we go. Moving to the next thing. You want to leave the tutorial deck? Yes, please. Alright, there's a lot of stuff in here to take. Now, you'll find a lot of books and tomes and things like that. Generally, they're worth reading. Sometimes they're even worth carrying, because you might want to use them, like somebody might request that you get them a book later on. Like I think there's a book that if you read or you get in the first act, in like Act 2 or 3, people there require it for something, or even Act 4. Can't remember. I know that the encyclopedia is one of the guys in Act 4 that writes the encyclopedias will quiz you, and if you haven't read the encyclopedias, then you won't be able to beat the riddles. But you know, so it's worth at least reading. You don't actually have to go through and read everything, but it's just, if you just, when I say it's worth reading, I mean clicking on it and clicking read, and then that way the game acknowledges that your character has actually opened the book and read it. So, yeah, I've already seen that. We have too long presumed source part of civil society, and we need to look no further into the past with the Source King's reign to understand the havoc such magics may wreak. One day, another order must follow in the Source Hunter's footsteps. Sorcerers must be muted. The new model of Source College provided by Fredeman is proving most effective. So all this ties into the overall story. Really good stuff. If you're interested in the lore aspect of the game, which I am, but you know, I won't take time to like bore you guys with going over every little detail. I'll take that because it's worth a decent amount of coin. Now there's like other stuff. I can't remember how much this is worth. I think this might be worth something. Nope, 0. So I'll just drop that.
Empty.
There's very rarely is there stuff that doesn't have some kind of use. Most of it's for crafting purposes. So if you're big on crafting, then this is the game for you. But if you're not big on crafting, then this is the game for you, because you don't need to do it. Oh boy. I'm not reading all that. If you guys want to read all that, raining blah 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 blah. A lot of books will have recipes in them as well. That's worth a lot of money. For like grenades and, well, everything really. She doesn't seem to.
Why, you're looking a bit more chipper. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself. There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash.
Aren't you a sweetie? Okay, so this is the trade menu. Most characters will be able to repair or identify if they're merchants in a town or something. And, you know, it's pretty simple. This is your screen. This is your offers, and this is their offers. So, you know, put the gold cup on there, and then, hey, I want this. You can give it all to me. And like, no, I'm not going to do that.
As though there's a
if you give them more than what
natural.
they are offering, then they will get better attitude with you, which is represented right here. And I get a 1% discount. I don't know what that's for. It might be persuasion. I forget. Or it's just because she has 5 attitude. So the higher the attitude, then the bigger discount you will get. And bartering will increase that even more. I never really found a use for bartering because it's just, like, it's pretty easy to get gold in the game, especially when they introduce like the herb gardens, which I'll show you later. But, you know, bartering can be definitely useful if you're doing just the base game and not any modding and stuff. I never had a use for it, but that's the way it goes. Pretty simple crafting system. You can even filter through different items and whatnot. Same with the merchant side. So really cool trade system, not crafting, trade system. All right, there you are. Not too tight, I hope. Blah, 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 blah.
In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Alright, mused that by the ship. You can tell you're on a Lucian-class frigate. Lucian is a very important character in the story, but why? Say you had a long black dream about a ship sailing the river of the dead. But you're not dead, are you? You pull the thing around your neck futilely. Demand to know why she called you. Lean in and whisper that the magister below decks. Usually I'll go with the... what are these called again? The tags. Yeah, I guess the tag dialogue. But I'm going to do lean in and whisper.
She frowns and peers at you closely, concern clearly etched upon her face.
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled wine and another night's sleep. Just take it easy.
She thinks I'm lying. Let's do Mystic.
No. You're alive, and you're having a conversation. You are on a ship, of course, but luckily for us both, we're merely sailing the plain old sea.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
You pull up the thing around your neck, futilely. Demand to know why she colored you.
Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those Source spells of yours? See what happens.
You recall great powers building inside you, the ones you commanded before your capture. Unleash them, or she might be playing a trick. Don't do it. Let's be smart. Let's not do the trick.
Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against you. Promise.
Shake your head. You're not going to do it.
My, aren't we a meek little lamb? Perhaps I needn't have collared you at all, though it does look darling on you. So let's just leave it on, shall we? Because to answer your question, what this collar does is this. It makes you unable to cast Source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Okay. Well, that's nice. Moving on.
Good gods! There's been a murder here.
No way.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass.
Nice girl.
Behind the magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
Turn your head away. What is this madness? Peer into the room and ask what happened. Take your leave. Let's peer into the room.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
Ask if you could lend a hand in the investigation. Ask if you knew the dead man. Pause. Always does, as if this sort of thing's happened often. Yeah, let's do that.
You surprised? You're one of them. You know what sorcerers are capable of? Whoever did this found a way around their collar and killed a man. Small ones this time, thank the gods. We'll find out who did it, one way or another.
Alrighty then. Let's go talk to Waters.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
Inform her that she isn't this man's protector. She was his captor. Or ask why she's letting you so close to the crime scene. For all she knows, you could be the killer. Or take your leave. Let's go at number 2.
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
Shrug and say, maybe you can. You're a sorcerer after all. Tell her that's a trick you haven't quite mastered. Or 3, ask if she's investigating her fellow magisters as well. One of them could have easily done this. Yeah, let's go that way.
Finn was killed by Source. If a magister could do that, there wouldn't be a magister. It looks more like a passenger managed to slip their collar. And the rest, well, you see the evidence in front of you. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
Nod and say you'll let her know if you hear anything interesting. Say that you're no snitch. Laugh, she really thinks you'd help a magister, someone who's keeping you under lock and key. 4, tell her your price is considerably higher than that. Or 5, take your leave. Let's do number 4.
Not in here, it isn't.
Oh.
You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
Alright, I think we will end this video here because there's going to be a lot to do going forward, a lot of dialogue, a lot of talking, and I don't want this video getting too big. So we'll cut it here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you're enjoying the game so far. This is still just the tutorial level, and it's
No known associates.
Very
In fact, he
complex
seemed
going
quite
forward,
averse to spending
but
time with
even
the
in the
others.
tutorial section, there's multiple options and stuff that you can do. This is pretty just basic, so don't let it fool you. But, you know, that's how RPGs go. You gotta start off slow, right? Yeah. Anyway, you guys have a good morning, afternoon, evening, and night, depending on where you are. This is Jarek Defiler, and this has been Divinity Original Sin 2. Great game. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.
But who